And then I'm going to share my screen. Yes. Okay. And then let me pull up here. Is my screen? You guys can see my screen? Y'all are good? I don't know. It's I don't know why it's Oh, okay. I don't know why it popped up double right here. But as long as you can see it, that's good. That's good. All right. So this is day 5. And what we're going to do is just day 6, actually. We're automating the network. Let's just review day 5 really quick. I like to just go back and review things so you guys can know exactly, what we talked about yesterday, just a refresher. I don't know if you guys noticed really quick, but in the announcement section where live classes, I did update the Zoom link. So you should be able to just click on the link and go come into class every day at 5, okay? More Monday through Friday at 5. So let's go into sections. And let's go into section 1. And let's start a little reference pop-up. Okay. So we've been talking about packet traveling. Like this whole week has been nothing but how computers talk to each other. So we definitely know what the components of a network. We know how to access a network that starts off with the layer 2 technology. And then we talked about layer 3 technology, which is allows us to, send data throughout the internet. We'll use the internet however we may please. Now, layer 2 and layer 3 work together to provide us these services. And these services help us, like I said, access the internet, whether just browsing a web page or sending a message to a friend. Now, we also talked about securing this network. So as we're talking to our friends or family members or whatever we're doing on the internet, we are secure. No one's taking our data, taking our information and using it against us. So we're good to go with computer networking. Now, the last piece on it is automating the network, because we know all about the network. We know how to manage it, how to monitor it. If something happens, we know where to look, AKA the OSI model. Okay. Now, what we have at the end is automation. Now, just like how you would think of, at Burger King or McDonald's, they now have the robots that can flip burgers and, the kiosks that can take orders. That automation is just the same as coming into the networking with automation as well. And freeing up some jobs, because we don't need a repetitive task. We don't need someone to do it. We don't have to, take out, $100,000 a year out of our budget as a company to pay someone, when we can just, invest 100,000 one time and it's always working and it's actually working faster. So that's what we have. We have something where we can automate our configurations, automate how we monitor and manage the network, so we don't need many positions, right? So that's why it's so important to understand how to fix the machine, how to create the machine, how to put down the machine, because ultimately the machine is taking all of our jobs. So here we go with automating our network. I already have it kind of pull up here. Now, before we even go in more on automating, do anybody have any questions, comments, concerns about yesterday or what we're about to go into? Okay, cool beans. Let me go down here. And you guys know I like to use my pen. So I should just have my pen, readily available. I don't know why I don't. Okay, so automation. So why automate the network? So we're going to automate the network for better network control. Where's my pen? Better network control. So we can use, we can have less human error, more effective staff. Again, instead of doing the same thing over and over again, like I'm just, putting in these configurations, or we can think of DHCP, I'm always, my whole job is just to allocate IP addresses. I can give that position or that task to a robot, and I could do something more effective. That something, helps the company in a better way. Okay, increased agility. Basically, we're just going to make sure that our network runs full, and it goes kind of hand in hand with uptime, full and up and available all the time. Remember, we talked about the considerations of a network. We need to always make sure that it's available and the speed is there. And we're going to have that once we configure automation to be able to do it quicker and more precise than a human. And it goes into fewer errors and low cost. Instead of paying you $100,000 every year, I could just pay $100,000 one time, and it saves me for the next 10, 20 years. Okay, so that's why we want to automate our network. It just helps us all around. Now, it may not help the worker who only knows how to do this certain task over and over again, but that's why you always increase your knowledge, you always increase your skill set. So, as your job become outsourced to automation, you can kind of configure this automation or know how to manage this automation. Okay. Now, when we talk about automation in networks, we can look at this one, traditional network. This is a switch, right? This is depicted as a switch. These switches, what we're going to do, we're going to control them individually. So it has a control plane, which we will connect to through remote means. And it has this data plane where all the data is being switched. So we can come into this, we can remote into this switch and, manage the data, see what's going on with the data. Same with this one, as you can see. This is how it goes in a traditional network. I don't know why. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Let me close this door. Like that. So that's a traditional network. And then we have a software-defined network where we're adding automation. And what that means is we're going to have a machine access point of where we're going to control. We're going to log into this. It's going to, have a dashboard of all our devices in our network. And it's probably going to show something of the health of the network, if the network is up or down or running slowly or whatever. It's a great user interface, which we call our control plane. And that will give us APIs to control the other switches. So we can say, instead of just going into the switch to manage the data, I'm in the central point, and I can say, you know what, I want to manage switch A, and I can just, get data from switch A or get data from switch B or switch C without actually having to go to this IP address remote in and see what's going on. And I can see all three of these, in one easy dashboard place, right? So instead of just doing everything manually, going in, checking everything from remote wise, I can just, again, use a simple, looks like a website to just, look at all my devices in the network. It's very easy, very simple. And we already have some type of intelligence on these switches to allow them to report to us if if there's errors or there's something going on. Okay, so that's more of how automation is used in a network. We have this one control plane that allows us to, again, control these devices remotely, but without having to, go into each single one individually, right? And we get that through the use of APIs. Now, you may have heard of APIs before, or you may not, but we're going to go a little deep into it. What we use specifically in networking is RESTful APIs. And RESTful APIs is something like represent stateful or something like that. Representful APIs something like that. But it means like represent APIs. And basically all it really is it's a type of API that uses HTTP to grab information, meaning that it's going to use the internet, it's going to use the browsers to grab information from wherever we want to grab. Say we want to grab, for my blockchain folks, let's say we want to grab a transaction date or a hash or some type of something that was done on the blockchain. We can use a RESTful API to grab that data so we can see like, oh, okay, it was on this date that you made this transaction or whatever we're looking for, whatever data we want, we can grab that data using the API. And when we see an API, when we grab that data, because we're going to send a request to say, hey, I want to know the transaction date of, when you pay for whatever, you pay for a movie. And your API is going to send it across the internet, grab it in a server, and then send it back to you in the form of JSON. Excuse me. JSON is like, I call it JavaScript's little brother because it's like a spinoff of JavaScript. And it's well, for me, specifically used with APIs. It's just easy to read it. JavaScript is, you can easily read JavaScript, but you kind of have to have some little knowledge to kind of figure out the plug and play. But JSON, it's just written in plain English. Like it looks probably like something like this, you know, probably with a little other, you know, special characters, but you can read JSON. We can all read it and the computer can read it. So that's why JSON is, I like it because both computer and the humans can read it together. But again, it is used off of JavaScript and used in API specifically. At least that's how I've been always able to read it. Let's see, what else can we say? That's really, I don't want to go too down into APIs. If you are going into the CCNA, I would say definitely go to that computer science course so you can get a little more in depth on APIs. But really what you need to know for here is that network automation, we automate the network, we automate it because it helps us with low cost, better network control, less errors. Because if a robot is doing it, it's going to be a little more effective than a human because we make, you know, simple fat finger mistakes, you know. But a computer is going to constantly do it. They don't need breaks, anything. So it's going to constantly make sure that our network is up and up and up. And we do that from a little control, a little dashboard that we will all have logins to or our own logins to. We'll log into it like a website and see the health of our network. And it'll tell us what's wrong, what's not wrong, what could be going wrong. It'll send us alerts to our email, maybe even to a text message if we wanted to. So we can kind of do something else in the network. As network engineers, we can, you know, do something else, another task, instead of sitting here literally watching the network and remoting in, right? It helps us all. And it helps us, as automation helps us through APIs. That's what we use it in the networking department. We use APIs as far as software defined networking, right? SDN. So when you hear SDN, think of APIs, okay? Now, what I wanna do before we even get into homework, I want you guys to play around with some APIs. I want you to go to your browser and download Postman, okay? Postman is a platform where we can play around with APIs. We can build them, we can use them, and it's something that's definitely in the industry and you should have it on your resume. So definitely download Postman. It may take a little minute, but I already have it downloaded because I didn't wanna, you know, take up too much time with this. And it'll look something like this. You'll probably have it open a little more. And I want you guys, again, to just play around with it, explore it. Even if you have to possibly watch a YouTube video on it, but I want you to do your own investigation of Postman. At least the basics, right? Now, what I want to show you guys, can I move this over? Okay, what I want to show you guys is, again, how APIs work in real time. So we'll probably, let me click on Get, okay. Now, let me see, before I even go in, let me talk really quick. Well, we probably won't deal with it right now. It's kind of if you want to go into CCNA, but I do want to hit it so you guys who are more into the coding realm can kind of see, kind of get this language. And this language is get, post, put, delete, which from RESTful APIs is an acronym that we use called CRUD, which again, if you are one of the coders, you want to get into programming of some sort, you will see CRUD a lot. So CRUD basically just means create, read, update, and delete. These are the verbs that the APIs, RESTful APIs do. RESTful APIs do these things. They create, they read, they update, and they delete via HTTP. We all know what HTTP is. That's, you know, hypertext something protocol. It's basically we use for the internet. We use to, you know, go to different websites on the internet. We go to people, you know, different websites. We could do HTTPS, which is more secure. But HTTP means that we can just see more. We don't have to go through a layer of security because we're just grabbing data, okay? So again, CRUD. So where does get, post, put, delete come in at? This is essentially the same thing as CRUD. So when we say a RESTful API is going to create, it's going to Read is going to update, is going to delete, is going to do these same things. It's going to get, right? I want to get some information. I want to post some information. I want to put some information, or I want to delete some information. So delete some information, put, you can say that's update, right? So I want to put something in there. Post some information, you can say that's create, even read, and then get information, you can say that that's read. You can even create it. Again, it's a verb and it's what you want to do. So with get, how I look at it is get, and post kind of sits in create and read. And then put is update, and delete is obviously delete. That's how I look at it. These two kind of go with these two, and then update is put and delete. Okay, so you know these acronyms, right? You know these terms. I ain't gonna say acronyms, but terms. Now let's go to Postman. And Postman, when you get up here, when you're basically creating a new workshop, and this workshop is saying that I want to get data, because you want to, keep your stuff organized. Maybe you want to, get data from, you want to get data from a decentralized way. So you'll have that workspace, and you'll probably have another workspace where it's more central data. Again, it's all up to you. You're the engineer. So, however you want to organize your workspace is up to you. So you create a new workspace, and let's say you want to get some information. You can get, post, put, patch, delete. You can do all these things. These are all verbs. But most of the time, you're only going to use, get, post, put, and delete. Patch, you can kind of think what patch is. It will be like an update, right? We're patching something. We may swap something out or add something in, or put something together. Regardless of the case, we're updating the information. We're deleting the information. We're putting the information, posting it, getting it. So today we're just going to focus on get, because I just want you guys to be very simple on these APIs. Unless you are going to take the CCNA, there's no need for you to, get too ingrained in, API verbs and all that good stuff. So what I like to have is, let me bring up you. So you put in a website. I have a already website for you guys, because I don't want to, just be going random places and end up on something random that we can't really see. But I do have, I'm just getting the link here in one moment. I do have a link. Okay, so let me paste it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get something. Obviously, it's HTTP, so we have to start with HTTP, and it's going to be from a website. So what do you want from a website? Okay, I want these characters from a website, right? So I put in the whole website, and I put in, that I want characters. Let's send it. Now I send it, I'm getting the information, and the API just went and gave me this information. Okay, this API gave me what I want, which is characters, and it gives me it in the form of JSON. JSON is, JavaScript little brother, right? JavaScript object notation, I think that's what it is, but I just call it JavaScript little brother. So as you can see, JSON is pretty easy to read, right? It's just looks like an array. We'll get into it a couple of days in what JavaScript is as far as how to read it. However, this is kind of like an array. It's giving us some data, giving us a list of a name, alternative name, the species, the gender, all the information that I need, because I wanted to get characters. That's what my AP was. Hey, let me get characters. And it tells me all the characters, and it's separated by the little curly brackets. And do we have curly brackets? And yeah, we have the regular brackets here. And again, this is just separating the data. Okay, as you can see. Now let's say that I have all the characters, but instead of the character, in the characters, I just want the students. So if you guys can't see, this is Harry Potter. I'm a Harry Potter fan, so I like doing Harry Potter APIs. Anyway, so let's just say I just want the students in Harry Potter. I don't want everybody that plays in the movie. So let's do, let's hold on, characters. And let's do, what did I say? Students. And that's all I want from characters. Separate just the students, enter, or send. You can put send. So now it will tell us in JSON who are just the students, the characters, and specifically the students in Harry Potter. And as you can see, we have Harry Potter as number 1, and then Hermione. And you can go down and see that these are just the characters. They're not the original list that we had. Well, these are just the students. They're not the original list that we had, which is all the characters. Okay, and it gives us even more information. And as you can see, we could get granular even more. Let's just say we want the staff. Okay, and as you can see, we have the staff, right? They don't show, Harry Potter and Ron and them on here. You can do house. I think you can just look at the characters' houses or something. Let me see. Maybe. Let me see. House is. Do they do? Let me see. What's one of these? You can choose either one, but I don't think it has the house on here. Oh, yes, I do have house. So let's do the characters and the house, and let's do the house. Yeah. Oh, so with the house, since it's inside, let me go to characters. And the house, since it's inside, I have to put the colons. So let me do /house, and then I have to do the colon because it's inside. It's actually data that's inside of an array. So let's get it outside of an array. House. Don't want to give us anything. Oh, maybe I should do staff. Do I have to be more specific? Okay, so we have the characters. Let's do characters. Let's do characters house instead. Characters house, and then the colon, right? I hope it's not semicolon, because I know JavaScript uses semicolons. Yeah, let me look at semicolons, and then house. But I doubt it's a semicolon. I've used APIs a lot, and I barely use a semicolon. Let me see, characters house. I don't know what the command is for just getting stuff out inside of the array, because we can do characters, we can do students, we could do staff, but let me see, let's do characters /house. Yeah, I already did that one. I forgot how to get the ones from inside of the array. I know you don't use the quotations because that's just, letting you know the string, what the string is. But you know what? We can always Google. REST API. But should I do Postman? Let's see, passing array and get post. I don't really like reading Stack Overflow because they users. Okay, so yeah, I did use the colon, and I did put house. So I did do it right, but it just didn't give me the houses. Let me see. Says I think it's better practice to start. Some of this stuff is just people putting in their own stuff, but as you can see, the answer that got the most votes right here, and that's filtered. Oh, okay. So they're saying basically that it should have some question mark in it, which I've never used a question mark to get just inside of an array. So I don't know why collections are used. Collections are typically filtered. So maybe I can do that. Let me look at another article really quick. I'm troubleshooting right now, guys. You don't know. Because we want to see like how we can just get, how can we just get the houses, right? That's what we're trying to find. Let me go back so I can show you guys. What we want to show is just house, right? We want to just get the houses and the characters. Okay, here we go. Oh, they talking about some Python. They talking crazy. Let's get out of here. Oh, hold on. Because what you can do is see what someone else did. They did a request, but, and they put the stuff in the string. Yeah. Yeah, no, let's get out of there. But what I like is this first one that we went to, because it kind of was there, you know, because they had the question that I have. So I'm gonna stay on here and just look really quick, maybe make sure I didn't. Okay, so let me read this. Another way of doing it is I can go here and, okay. Oh, okay, they want me to, they do want you to add some extra stuff. Let me see. Characters. Uh-oh. Something popping up on my screen. What is this? I don't know what this is. I'm about to exit out of this. I think I want this and they want me to go. Okay, there we go. Click out of that. Okay, so I don't know how to get in these houses because I'm not finna use a question mark. I don't think that's right, honestly. I think that it is something with this colon. This says multiple users. Yeah. If you guys can figure out how to just get the house, then let me know. And we can put that up. Because I don't know how to just get the house. But we can at least look at other things. Like, let's see. We did student, staff. What else we can do that's not in the array? I mean, so many other things. I can't even think right now because I really want to know why they didn't take this colon. I'm gonna have to do some Googling. I don't want to take up y'all time. Oh, it's 12:30. I need that bit. Y'all okay? Y'all okay? Y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything while I'm looking into this so I can get these houses? Let me look at house.
I'm just soaking it up.
Oh, okay, okay. I ain't want to take up what y'all had going on, but I do want to see why this didn't take what it needs to take. Oh, is it an odd space? That it would be something, but no, I did check that, as you can see. I'm gonna just do house. Yeah. No, there's no space. I made sure it wasn't a space here. I don't know the command though. Let me oh, I know what I can do. Let me come here and I can, because I'm looking at the specific Harry Potter APIs. Because I'm looking specifically there. And GitHub, that's something we're going to talk about too, because GitHub is a good place to look at other folks' code and see what they got going on. They ain't telling me. They ain't telling me. This is all really JavaScript. It's still easy to understand, as you can see, like character page, get, accept, content type. Like you can kind of read this page 10, page 0. Like it's not that hard to understand this. I mean, at least read it, but to like put the pieces together, you might be like, what the freak? So maybe let's take out Harry Potter API. There we go. I don't know why I put Postman. I put Harry Potter API. Okay, here we go. Yes. characters, house. Now I did this. Y'all saw me do this. Copy. Y'all saw me do this. I'm gonna just paste. Maybe I did fat finger something. Nope. Still didn't work. So it wasn't me. Or maybe this one. I did this one too. Copy. Now it could be their API, their server where it's not fetching the data. Oh, here it's probably fetching it. Nope. Where it's not able to fetch this data because again, I'm trying to get Harry Potter stuff. I'm trying to get Harry Potter stuff from a specific server.
What about going into like developer mode on that particular site and see if they got something going on with their code to where the link isn't populating when you copy paste it?
Oh, let's look at you talking about with this link to see if it works as far as in the inspect.
Okay.
I mean, I can click on the link and let's see. Well, you know what though? I mean, I still should have some data that I brought up, but it just shows the same data of students. Actually, it looks like it shows the same data of all the characters. So that could be why it's not pulling up just the house because, oh, it says House Gryffindor. Okay, so let me come back up here. Let's go here. Yes, it says House Gryffindor. So these are probably specific to the house. Characters house. Well, yeah, it says no API key, so it's definitely open. It says no API key right here. And then this marker, oh no, that's the text. Okay, these are all just the text. This is the only link. And yeah, it just gives up all the information. Let me see. See, yep. So I actually have to put in a specific house because it's not just going to bring up all the houses. So let me do, where we at? Let me do here. And this what we can do, characters. And then what house? We can do Gryffindor. I don't know how to spell Gryffindor, that's why I'm here. What's another house? Because they show Gryffindor really. Oh, Slytherin. Let's do Slytherin. I'm gonna copy this because I don't know how to spell it. Copy. And then what did they want us to say? They want us to do house. Let's do characters house. Characters house. And then a slash. Let me just make sure I do it how they want me to. Slash with the colon and then a house. And then maybe I should put Slytherin. Nope, they still don't want that Slytherin. Uh-oh. Slytherin. I don't know why this thing going slow. Let me put Slytherin right here. And then let me go. I like this one better because this is what I know. Control copy. And then let's put it in here. And let's do Slytherin. I think I'm putting it in backwards or something. I don't know because this pops up with Gryffindor. So if you look here, if we click on this link and then we look at where the link takes us, it takes us to the house, Gryffindor's house. And it tells us, if you can see here, everybody It's in Gryffindor. 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 So this is right. Maybe I should just do Gryffindor. How about that? Maybe this is only copy. Maybe they don't, hold on. Control copy. Let's just look at something really quick. Let's look at something real quick. How to spell? I don't know how to spell Gryffindor. I'm gonna spell Slytherin. I'm gonna try it in a browser just to see. Freaking works in a browser. Okay, so let's do house and let's do SLYTHERIN. Of course. So you just put the slash. You don't even need the colon anymore. That was wonderful. So it was just a colon. Let me look back at that code. Is this it? Yeah. So yeah, you don't need the colon anymore. I guess they were just telling you to put a house here. You can use it, but for some reason, when you use their exact link, yeah, I don't know why. But regardless, as you can see, what I did was I used this link, I put it into the browser, it came up, and I decided to change all of the link and go down to a house and just put the house that I want because it kept showing me Gryffindor. So I figured maybe this is, Gryffindor's link. But when I changed the link to Slytherin, it came up. And as you can see, just to fact check, actually we can fact check it easier in Postman. You can see that the house for all of these should be Slytherin. Yep, Slytherin. So it's just a little playing around sometimes with these links. You kind of want to get it as close to possible to the site as as you see it. I'm still going to take a look at this, at more of these codes as far as the semicolon to get stuff inside of an array, because that's exactly what I was taught. So I'm going to see, did something change, or is that just how they have their pathway to this, to their data? Because again, it's all about who created this API and how they wanted this API, how they, set it up to get information. And again, I'm using someone else's stuff because I liked Harry Potter and I want to use this here as an example. But you can use, you can use anything. And that's kind of what I wanted to bring you guys into with the homework. I want you to just explore APIs and just start getting data. Just start, saying data that you want, whatever. Maybe you want, I don't know, maybe you want maybe you're a trader and you want stock information. Go to yahoofinance.com and grab only maybe QQQ's information, or grab, whatever ETF or index you want to use. Or maybe you're like me and just want to do movies, movie nerd, choose a movie, choose the characters of a movie. Maybe you into music, right? It's so many things you can grab. Like I can just go on forever on that. So you guys pick what interests you, download Postman and pick what interests you, and, start grabbing data from whatever category you want to grab from. And as you can see, like I keep saying, Harry Potter was mine. For my blockchain folks, this is valuable information as well, because we use this in blockchain. We use this in many, many different ways. You can think of, Coin Market Cap or Coinbase. How do we get that information? How do they get that information? Through an API, because that's just an app to give you all the information of where, all the data of what that coin has. And how do they get that data? They're not asking the owners of the coin to say, hey, can you update the information on the site? No, they are grabbing it from that site and they're pulling data. They're grabbing it from, maybe whatever Coin Market coin market cap. Some people may be grabbing data from there to get like, you know, the market cap of a coin, or, you know, where the coin is sitting at, the current price, all that good stuff. And that's just one example. There's so many other blockchain examples out there. Let me think. We said the data collection, as far as, you know, with cryptos and stuff. I mean, NFTs, I heard somebody talk about NFTs. You can get, you know, use APIs to get same thing, just like the coins, the price, value of it, you know, what's going on with it. We do use it with smart contracts as well, as far as in, what we talked about the supply chain. And I think we talked a little bit about healthcare with smart contracts, and like, you know, having them their own type of blockchain, like their hybrid blockchain. You know, how you think they're getting information? It's through APIs. We're going to grab data to execute what we need to execute in that smart contract. APIs are everywhere. I think I mentioned this earlier today, maybe yesterday, but I'm going to repeat it again. It's just a way for one software to talk to another software. That's all an API is. That's it in a nutshell. So we have two softwares, like we have a Windows and we have a Mac OS, and we want them, well, those are operating systems, but I'm just giving an example. If we want those two to talk to each other, we will have an API in between them. So the one end of the API speaks Mac, and the other end of the API speaks Windows. And then when they come in the middle to transfer information, they swap language. So now the Windows can, you know, Windows can understand what Mac said, and Mac can understand what Windows said. That's all APIs is. So you can kind of think about all the possibilities of all the things that we use APIs with, you know. Go to TripAdvisor, go to Yelp. You know, how do you think you're getting, you know, restaurants near you or a bar near you? We're using APIs. That's what they're using. So if you can get a solid footing in APIs and, you know, get a solid footing in Postman, put that on your resume, because that is a skill set to definitely help you get to that 100K. I know for sure you can just be really proficient in APIs and probably get like a 70K job, just with your, you know, knowledge on APIs. But again, it's what you want to do with it. Are you like a mobile app developer? Are you like in data science, to where, you know, you get data and organize it? Like, what are you doing with APIs? What specifically were you doing? And again, you know, we're still developing. We're still learning your path. We're coming up to the end of week 1, so you kind of should have a footing in like, okay, this is kind of the realm I want to go. This is kind of technology I want to work with. And we're still going to get more and more technology. You know, we're still going to get more technology to play with, or, you know, to come across. But at least you have enough to be like, okay, maybe this is where I want to go. So this is kind of like the end of how computers talk, because now we're going to start going into making computers talk, because, you know, we ended up with APIs, which we can automate stuff between the, you know, talking of computers. But now we're going to go in and say, hey, this is what I want the computer to say, which is nothing but software developing, software programming. That's where we're going to start going into JavaScript. And you kind of saw me a little bit with JavaScript. I don't know why I'm using Edge. I should use Chrome. But if you go into tools, someone called out developer tools. So yes, you in the console. Let's clear this console. And, you know, this is where we'll work with JavaScript. Let me clear that out. So you can, you know, do some things what you want to do. You can create certain things, you know, a variable. You can call that variable, you know, bootcamp if you want. We're going through some errors here. Browser event. See, that's why I use Chrome. But regardless, we're not going to get into that. I just wanted you to see that, you know, we're going to be, instead of doing slides like we have been doing with, you know, this automation, what we're going to really just be in consoles. We're also going to be in Visual Studio Code. So, you know, I'm just throwing out some acronyms out there, not acronyms, but some terms out there, so you guys can, you know, won't be too new at it when we start doing it. Because if you've done all this, you kind of understand APIs, if, you know, or this don't really interest you, at least you can start playing around in this console where I just showed you, and maybe downloading Visual Studio Code, because tomorrow we're going to be doing just a little, I'm not going to say coding, we're going to be doing HTML and CSS. That's not really a programming language, that's a framework. So I wouldn't say it's coding, but it is the beginning of a coder. So yeah, that's really it. What I really, again, just want you guys to go in is these APIs, because they're beneficial for everyone, whether you are cybersecurity, whether you're just playing networking, whether you're in blockchain, wherever you want to see yourself in tech, it's great to understand APIs. Okay. So yeah, that's really all I had today. Really wasn't nothing crazy. Just talking about automation in a network. Because what we're gonna do is automate some tasks that we do once we get to software, our software section. We'll start automating things with Python. So we can probably go into work and automate a few tasks on our own so we can chill and work on our business while we have a script to do some things for us. And that's just a little, tidbit so you guys can, maximize your time more. I've been able to, figure out ways on how I can still have this job, but still do what I want to do. And time is money. So I've learned how to automate tasks for my job so I don't have to do it, but we'll get in there. We'll get in there. Outside of that, any questions? Y'all got anything y'all got? Because I'm kind of done with this lesson. It wasn't too long.
Oh no. And I got an excellent demonstration of me trying to complicate things instead of going to the simplest solution first. It's like it was the daggum colon, and I'm like, check the developer side. Like, what?
Yes. That's because we know too much. We know too much, so we're trying to go in and do all technical stuff and just realizing something simple. Like, let's just take out a whole bunch of arbitrary, these items and let's just try house. Let's just try slash. Let's just try this. And we did it and it worked.
I'm working on it. I think I'm gonna have to like write a list of all the simplest steps first that I should consider before I go all the way to the most complex, convoluted. Like, yeah, I need to work on that.
Yeah. So that's where the OSI model comes in at. It's not necessarily we're gonna go in the OSI model, but we can think like, okay, let me go back. Let me just really think about the first step. So the first step is HTTPS. Okay, this is a website. It has a semicolons. Okay, this actually goes to a website. Now, let me put this in a browser. That's why I ended up, let me put this in a browser. Where does this go? The semicolons don't go anywhere, or the colons don't go anywhere. If I take out the colons, oh, it do go somewhere. So if I put it in Postman, I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to get some data that I want, which is specifically Slytherin house. And then it let me know too that I have to specify the house up front instead of just looking at all the houses with the characters, because it's too much data. So what do you want to specify? So again, that's went all the way down to going to the first and then going up to the second, to the third, to the fourth. Because again, we have a lot of knowledge. So we want to just, oh, I think it's this, I think it's that, instead of just, let's just start really from the beginning, you're never going to not need that. No matter how many years you're working in tech, you'll always still need to go back to the beginning of same old same. Did you power it off, power it on? Can you sign out, sign back in? Like, believe it or not, that just relieves like 50% of problems. And then you go in and just, most of the time, it is an error. That's why they have robots and stuff, because look at that simple error that I had because, simple syntax, when the computer would have already had it in its database and would have added that and would have been done in 5 minutes. So prime example of, if we were in a pickle, a robot would be more effective than my human mistakes. But yeah. Anybody else? Y'all got something? Y'all wanna? Today's Sunday, so I think that y'all should take some of this time to study. Go back over. Let me pull up Notion. Go back over what we talked about all week. Make sure that you see this diagram and you can say, okay, well, I see that A wants to send data to B, B wants to send data to A. How does that happen? And you should be able to go through these steps to, put all the pieces together to make that picture for you in your head of how data travels through a network. I think that's very, very, very important that you understand before you move on to software developing. Because again, it just helps with everything. And it helps with your knowledge on everything else in life, not even just tech stuff, but, troubleshooting regular things. Like, I know you guys probably have computer issues. You probably have like real tech issues, and imagine knowing like, oh, okay, well, let me check my, is it connected to the internet? Is my IP, like just simple things that will just help you, get over those roadblocks faster than sitting here twiddling your thumbs. Or asking everybody, or whatever the case may be, So definitely make sure you know these little topics here. And then tomorrow we're going to get into, like I said, HTML and CSS. We're going to learn how to create a simple web page and host it on the internet. So if we wanted to, let's say, have our resume, we can say, okay, well, I'm going to buy a domain, which you don't have to, but I'm going to buy a domain that's, jessicakw.com. So anybody goes to www.jessicakw.com, they're going to see my resume, see, my things that I worked on, my projects and all that good stuff. I can create that with HTML and CSS, on a very static way. And again, host it on the internet. Anyone can go to it. Now you won't do this, I wouldn't say, probably like 90% of the time, you wouldn't do this in the real world. You'll probably just use some type of, pre-configured hosting site. Like I use Wix for my website. Some people use ThinkOf, some people use Shopify, some people use WordPress. There's so many things. But if you don't want to use those already plug and play features or software, then you would actually do HTML and CSS, right? You actually code out your own website, which is, done in the whole back in the MySpace days. And we don't do that anymore. That's a dinosaur. But knowing HTML and CSS and knowing how to read it, knowing how to format it just helps you with developing more, especially if you want to become a web developer, if you want to be a mobile app developer. It's very important. Like when you're learning JavaScript, it's very important to, understand a little bit of HTML and CSS to know how everything goes together, because JavaScript is mainly for web development. So if you're developing a website and 80% of it is JavaScript and 20% of it is HTML and CSS, and you don't know anything about that, it's going to kind of be hard to troubleshoot your issue or really provide a really nice website. But yeah, this is a good skill to have. Put that on your resume or put that on Fiverr or Upwork. Do some freelance work. A lot of people. I use Upwork as a worker. People can find me to create websites or whatever they need. I have a whole bunch of skill sets. And I also use it to find people to help me, because even though I know how to build websites, sometimes I don't have time to do it. So my client is like, hey, I need, a logo done or a website done. And I'll go up to Upwork or Fiverr and be like, hey, I need this done. And as long as their price match up, then that's cool. So it's kind of why I'm trying to help you guys, learn, get into this industry and make money on the side, because just like myself, there's people that's out here who will pay you for your skill sets just on project basis. I know Elle, I think you're in here, and I work with Elle a lot with my clients and creating graphic designs. So I mean,
we've had some fun.
Yeah, exactly. We've been on this for a minute. So it's kind of like, I want you guys to come out here and network with people and, make money on the side, and then probably possibly turn into business. Like Elle could probably turn into a whole, LLC, to where it's like, hey, this is my graphic design company. These are my prices, just really make it, down the road. So, you guys can do that as well on top of getting a 6-figure job. Or I did talk to someone before, I forgot who it was. I said, get you a nice 75, 80K job, because he already had the skill sets. And then the 20K, 25K, use that in your side income. Use that with your skill sets, like I said, in Upwork or Fiverr or, so many other things you can do in tech to make money. You're just, completely just utilizing tech. You're utilizing technology. You're utilizing an app. You're utilizing a service. You're probably building something, probably contributing something. When we get into coding and we start doing, this is day 7. Let me go to week 2. once we get into software development, you can take some of this JavaScript, Python. Like I said, I automate a lot of my tasks. So, you guys can automate some stuff and then go somewhere and be like, hey, I can automate this for you. Give me $100 or whatever. I don't know what your price is. I'm not going to tell you. And then MySQL, databases. I can update databases. Not too long ago, I had to find someone to help me with the AWS database. So, get into these things and promote yourself out here and say, hey, give me some money to help you fix this issue. It's just so much money out here to be made outside of a corporate job that I want you guys to immerse yourselves in and, make that 100 to 120K a year. Like you don't have to get a 120K job, just one job, you can maximize it. You can spread it out. Again, it's so many things. It's just like going all in my head, but I'll dump them out as these weeks progress. I'll just dump out all I know about money and tech, so you guys can just plug and play with all of it, right? Let me see. This is projects. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna be doing some projects to help you. Again, tech writing, you don't even have to get a job as far as like a corporate job. You can just do some like you can do blog writing, or you can do like instructions, or you can go to someone's website and see that they don't really have like a facts answer question page or some type of contact me page or some type of page to where you can add to them and say, hey, you give me $50, I can add this page here to you, terms and conditions page. Like, a lot of businesses don't have that, believe it or not. So you go to that and let them know, this is what I have. This is what I can do for you, and do it. Shoot. A payment app. Oh, we're going to create a payment app. Very simple, very easy. So you probably can take this, run with it, and be like, oh, I got my own payment app. Maybe you want to be the next Cash App or something. Or just the knowledge of making an app. You could just, say, hey, I can make an app for you really quick. Project management. That's a big one. That's always a like 80, 90K a year job. So we'll do a little bit with that. Oh, web scraping. I forgot all about it. We're going to definitely do some web scraping. That is, some money you can do. I paid a lot of people to web scrape for me, so why not, you go out here and say, hey, I can web scrape for you and get paid a la carte. You don't even have to work for a company. Marketing and sales, I think is very important that you guys know how to market and sell yourself, sell your skill sets, so you know how to get money, right? Because that's the biggest thing, regardless of everything that do you know how to market yourself? Do you know what it takes? And what I probably will do here is probably have like a segue for the business owners. I don't know if any of you guys are business owners, but I probably want to give you some gems on, how to market your business and get some sales. And then we'll probably just do some leftover work. So yeah, week 3, we're gonna really start putting everything to test. Week 3 is probably to make or break you. Let me see, week 4. Okay, these are interviews. So this is kind of where I want to have some of my people come in, talk to you guys. I got some people that went through boot camps and went and got 6-figure jobs. So I want them to, show you, kind of explain you guys what their process was, because they didn't go to school and they don't have a degree in computer science. So maybe outside of my journey, someone else's journey could spark something in you. I also have some recruiters. I have recruiter friends who either own their own IT staffing company or they work closely in their IT staffing company, and they always have jobs. So have them talk to you guys, see what you guys need to get into those positions. Yeah, that's really that. And then again, we'll just talk about little things that, I'll do in my job, what you should and shouldn't do outside of just tech, like just using like things like Outlook. I don't know if you guys are familiar, which you should be. Microsoft Outlook, we use a lot. That is the company standard with emailing. And I've learned a lot on how to use Outlook, even how to respond in emails. Maybe you guys don't know how to talk, how to communicate email-wise corporately. So we're going to talk about that and discuss that. So, you know, when your first day of work, your first day at, you know, corporate IT, you're not looking like, you don't look like an amateur. You know, I want you guys to look like you at least had a couple of IT jobs, right? And most of the time, if you like worked as a manager or a trainer or something, some type of, you know, step up in the corporate world, and you kind of already know some of this, it's like having a signature and, you know, saying certain things instead of cussing folks out, because that's what we want to do. Say, what are you talking about, Becky? Week 5, let's see what we have here. Okay, this is when we'll just start applying to jobs. We'll just get on every day, Monday through Friday. Well, you know, the times that we have been, and just look for jobs together. Cause like I told you, I think I'm gonna get me a second job too, because I need more money. So let's all look for a job together. And that's it, week 6. Okay, I'll just make sure. Okay. Oh, so this is where I had the guest speakers. So we may swap that around. So week 6 is really just where to go from here. You know, basically just like the handoff, a whole week of just making sure that, you know, you have what you need to go out here and be successful. You guys are in this course, so you always have access to me in the Discord. So as long as you are in the Discord and, you know, your name matches what you have on the website, then, you know, you pay for my mentorship. So we can, you know, talk and make sure that you get what you need. If you want my mentorship outside of, you know, computer science, I do have a mentorship program. You know, you'll be in the mentees group, and we talk about stuff outside of computer science. I talk about business with them. I basically give them, you know, their view of, you know, how I make my 6 figures. I'm pretty transparent with my stuff because, I mean, I'm always growing. And, you know, I can give you my recipe, but that don't mean, you know, your cake gonna turn out like my cake. So, you know, I don't have anything to hide. I do have my secrets. And that's why, if anything, I put a price on it. You know, that's why you guys pay to be here, because I have my little secrets and I'm not gonna hide them, but I do want you guys to have them. And again, I mean, it's all about, I'm gonna give you something, you give me something. That's just how the world is. So I'm giving you guys the, you know, blueprint for this price here. But if you want something outside, if you just want to, you know, get into my mind, you know, you want to collab with me, whatever the case may be, you know, definitely hit me up. We can work on stuff. Because again, I'm constantly growing. I'm constantly adding new knowledge because I have goals. I have goals to retire from tech. I don't want to do this forever. I'm trying to retire in like a couple years, honestly. If you want to be frank, you know, because again, my passion is food. I'm not really into tech like that. I know I need to know it to keep myself safe, to keep up to date. But when you talk about my passion, I just want to mix flour and eggs together, sugars, butter, put some chocolate chips in there. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. Before we end this, we're kind of a little over, but that's okay. Before we end this, you have any questions? Again, I think you guys should kind of get together, hop into one of the voice chats, you know, maybe a study chat or a lounge, and maybe study together, or just have it open for questions. I'm here. I actually have to work on something for a client, which I will show you guys. That's probably what it is. Probably week 6, we're gonna go into blockchain, because I've been changing things around here. I've just been learning so much. Let's do maybe next week. Blockchain, and then I'm gonna do Web3, because I've been building some things in the Web3 space, and it's just a big demand for it. And yeah, I would like to teach you guys these skill sets, and either you can come and work with me with my clients, or you can go and create your own business, and this is up to you. It don't matter, but I want to give you guys the sauce with what I've been learning with the Web3, so we can make some money together. Because I've been able to, you know, utilize this new skill and make some money. So This will be interesting. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of some stuff, some metaverse stuff specifically, and some NFT stuff. You know, we're going to really, like I said, it's going to be blockchain, Web3. And I think my blockchain folks are going to be very excited. And I'm probably gonna have like a little poll because I want to see, are you guys like blockchain want to be developers, or do you just want to be, you just want to understand the space? Because I don't want to give you a whole bunch of code and a whole bunch of backend stuff if all you care about is maybe finance of blockchain. I don't know, like DeFi. Let me just write that down really quick. Poll to see who side of blockchain. Okay, I'm gonna create that poll. Some type of software will do that for me. Okay, so yeah, boom. That's it. That's all I have for you guys. Nothing crazy. I just want to make sure I hit every topic. But I am open today if you guys, you know, need some help or something. I'll be working on some things. So I'll just be on my computer for probably the next 5 to 6 hours. I'm gonna put in some work here. I'm gonna send a link. Let me get this link too, so you guys can at least get the understanding of APIs, right? Because you may want to go to the beginning of an API, and then Postman. Oh, here's another one. Where we at here? Blackjobs.com. I got this link from someone the other day, and it was interesting. And I thought I put it in the chat, but I didn't. It's just sitting on my screen here. So y'all go ahead and look at Black Jobs, Careers and Employments for African Americans. Go ahead and look at that. I mean, I don't know if it's specific to tech or what, but it's something that someone gave me, and I think that it'll be really helpful for y'all. And I'll probably look through it too. I did look through it, and it seemed interesting. That's why I'm like, let me share it. Because I'm, like I said, I'm looking for a job too, y'all. And I think that's all. Oh, blockchain API. That's because last time I didn't send these links and I was upset. Like, damn, I didn't send the links for y'all. So here y'all go. We got REST API, so you can know what, you know, what an API is and some general stuff. To just put in some Black jobs for you guys so you can, you know, look for some more jobs, maybe something more interesting. If you find something interesting, you can send me your resume. We can go through it to make sure that your resume aligns with the job that you're posting. So again, hit me up. And then top 5 use cases of blockchain APIs with examples. I think this is a really good link for you guys because it shows you the APIs that are being used in the blockchain sense and how they're being used, like NFTs, Binance, smart contracts, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Okay, yeah, that was the only 2-3 sites I had. All right, so thank you guys so much for, you know, joining. It's Sunday. I get it. You know, you probably had church or some other obligations, but you're here sticking to your studies. I really, really, really appreciate that. Again, I'm here for your success. Do not feel overwhelmed. I'm here to help you. So if you still don't know what path to take, you still feel a little overwhelmed, reach out to me, whether in Discord. You can definitely speak into this this boot camp here, you know, because the issue that you may have, someone else may have. So, you know, instead of me answering the same question 5 different times in my direct messages, I can just answer it right here on, you know, again, maybe you need to know more cybersecurity path. There's about 3 of you guys I know for sure that's really in the cybersecurity. So put your cybersecurity questions in here, because someone else may be looking for that, and so forth with any other technology. Let me close out of that, and I'm gonna stop sharing. But yes, thank you guys, thank you, and see you guys tomorrow, Monday at 5 p.m. Okay?
All right, enjoy your Sunday, everyone, and thank you.
Thanks. Bye, guys.